This is Brad. I'm here to talk about my books. I don't think enough of you are out there buying them, so that's it. I think you need to do that. Let me tell you about my first book. This is my first book. This is called The Melting. This is the story of a group of teenagers in 1989 who happened to come to battle with a group of supernatural hillbillies. And this book goes back and forth in time a little bit to bring the story to you, but it's a really good story. When I originally wrote this, I wanted to create my own creature, like Frankenstein or Freddy Krueger, something like that. I wanted to have my own monster. So that's what's in this book. There's a lot of gore. It's gruesome. There's a lot of good sex. There's some humor. There's a lot of good characters, and it's a really good story. If you like that kind of book, I highly recommend it. My second book is called Tropez. This is the story about a guy that I label as a warlock. This guy's born in the early 1800s, and he's born with this supernatural ability that he has no idea where it comes from. He does learn later on, though. And he works with and develops these powers through his life. And upon his 28th birthday, he's given full power and receives life without death. So basically, he never ages after that. And I take him, through almost the next 200 years and bring him up to modern day. This guy, he meets up with, celebrities of the day. He runs with Jesse James for a while. He marries a woman who is the chambermaid of a couple of evil and satanic masters of a giant Gothic mansion at the turn of the century. Together they adopt a child who is homicidal and has tendencies to just want to kill. After that, he runs with Bonnie and Clyde for a while. He runs a city that's founded on the beings that he has created, that he has killed throughout his own lifetime and created what they are now. By the end of the book, he comes to battle with his arch nemesis, and it's a battle of faith and power and who wins out. This is a really good book. This is probably one of my favorite books that I've ever read, not to mention wrote. My third book is a murder mystery. This is called Damon Breyer. It's about a guy who is a psychologist. He's slightly unethical, and he's got a handful of patients that in his younger days he starts working with in certain ways and helps resolve their issues and goes on. The book starts out with his death, and though that handful of people receiving notification of his death. As they're reading it and as they're thinking back, that's what this story is, and they start to become a little traumatized, remembering exactly what he was to them in their life and how they got to where they are. There's a lot of murder in here, and there's a lot of mystery, so it's hard to really pinpoint any one main plot. This is a really good book. My fourth book, which is a compilation of my short stories. This book is called Tendrils, and has 21 short stories in it. A really good book. Most of them are horror. Most of them have a lot of gruesomeness to them. But there's all the other elements too. Humor, sex, thrills, chills, suspense, everything you're looking for. If you like short stories, this is the way to go. There are 21 stories in this book, and I hope you enjoy them all. My fifth book, which is my fourth novel, is called The Dead MC. It's about a group of people who lived in the heartland of this country in the mid-1930s, and they just happened to start riding motorcycles. If you don't know, there was a thing that went on in the country created by the weather and drought and erosion and things like that, and they created these dust storms that were like 700,000 to 800,000 feet high, 200 miles wide, and were going at 60 miles an hour, and they were winds that were filled with dirt. And on what they call Black Sunday, which I believe it was April 14th, 1935, they take the motorcycle group down. The wife of the leader of this group had an aunt who was a gypsy witch, and she brought them through their deaths to the world of undead. they will now no longer age. This is the first book in a trilogy, and I basically take you through their lives of being a motorcycle club, show you how they grow and how they live. Each book contains 3 decades. This is the first book. It's got the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s, how they get through them, what's become of them, and where they go. The second book will be the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and the third book will be the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. This is just like my favorite book right now to read. I love the characters in here. It's like a roller coaster ride going through their life, watching the people who come into their lives and the people who leave and how they have to leave, and it's just a really good book. I'm about 100 pages into the second book in this series, which is called The Others. The last and other different book that I put together was a book called Moments in Clarity. This is a book of my artwork and my poetry. This book took 2 years to put together and get it right. I've been writing poems my whole life. I had almost 600 of them, and I had to go through and find out what was good and what wasn't, and take the good ones and make them better, and then get the artwork the way that I liked it, the way I wanted it and originally intended it to be. I put it in this larger book so you can see the artwork. It's nice and bright and vibrant, and this is just about big enough you could put on a coffee table. This is me. This book contains all my thoughts, emotions, feelings, and all that other kind of good stuff that I've gone through my whole life, and probably most of you all have gone through your whole life too. Maybe I can put it in words for you. Anyways, these are all available at Amazon.com. You can also Google my name and find out any other places they're available, like the publisher, I suppose. Or you can contact me. My email is brauthor@aol.com. Or you can contact me on Facebook, just under my own name, Brad Rieman, and I can get you 20% off of these books. I can also autograph them for you, which Amazon can't do that. So contact me, let me know what you're interested in. Let's talk about the books. Let's get a nice conversation going, and hope you enjoy them. Please look me up. Thanks. Bye.